In April 2015, archaeologist Sergio Gomez and his team made a startling discovery beneath the center of the Teotihuacan pyramid, a vast pool of liquid mercury. This resembles the legendary tomb of China's first emperor, Qin Shi Huang, which is rumored to contain rivers of mercury meant to deter looters. Furthermore, vials of mercury have been found in ancient Egyptian tombs dating back approximately 3,200 years. These discoveries are particularly intriguing because mercury does not naturally occur in its elemental form. Mercury is unique as the only elemental metal that remains liquid at room temperature. Extracting it involves a complex, high-temperature process that is highly toxic. The logistics behind acquiring it are mind-boggling. We all know how valuable mercury is in today's modern world. As a superconductor, liquid mercury is being used in revolutionary applications like free energy generation, advanced medical imaging, and cutting-edge transportation projects. This leads us to wonder, could mercury have had a technological purpose in ancient times as well? How did these ancient civilizations come to use this elusive and dangerous substance? Above all, how did they manage to obtain mercury in such large quantities? Before we dive into these intriguing questions, let's take a trip back in time to explore the history of this ancient site, rumored to hold vast quantities of mercury. In 1974, farmers made a remarkable archaeological find in a seemingly ordinary field in China's Shanxi province. As they dug, they uncovered clay fragments depicting a human figure, which turned out to be just the beginning. Subsequent archaeological excavations revealed that the field concealed a series of pits containing a vast assembly of life-size terracotta figures, including soldiers, war horses, acrobats, esteemed officials, and various other animals, marking one of the most significant discoveries in the history of archaeology. The vast terracotta army was found to be guarding the nearby mausoleum of Qin Shi Huang. Born on February 18, 259 BC, this powerful emperor took control of his kingdom at just 22 years old. Leading formidable armies, he conquered the 6 remaining independent kingdoms of the late Warring States period, unifying China in 221 BC. In doing so, he ended centuries of political turmoil, constant warfare, and relentless bloodshed. As his influence expanded, he became fixated on mortality and the yearning for everlasting life. He actively pursued mystical elixirs that promised immortality and frequently sought guidance from magicians and alchemists. Launching expeditions to the East China Sea, he sought the fabled Islands of the Immortals, aiming to discover herbs and plants that could grant him immortality. Ironically, the emperor's relentless quest for eternal life might have hastened his demise at 49 in 210 BC. He often drank mercury, convinced of its magical properties, without realizing its toxicity. While his quest for conquering death remained unsuccessful, the emperor had ambitious visions for his life beyond. Striving to solidify his status as a cosmic ruler in the afterlife, he ordered the creation of an entire realm to accompany him into the next world, an unparalleled endeavor. Situated at the heart of his tomb, the opulent mausoleum of the emperor is believed to have contained a kingdom of abundant treasures for the life after, concealed and protected by his now globally renowned terracotta army. Although extensive portions of the necropolis surrounding the mausoleum have been excavated and studied, the tomb of the emperor himself remains sealed. Despite the immense curiosity and speculation surrounding it, no one has seen this tomb for over 2 millennia, ever since the powerful emperor was laid to rest within its walls. Much of our knowledge about this tomb comes from the ancient historian Sima Qian, who wrote about it 2 centuries after its construction. According to him, the mausoleum took 700,000 men, almost 4 decades to build. He described how the craftsmen who constructed the mechanical devices and knew the secrets of the tomb were trapped inside to ensure they could not divulge its treasures. After the funeral ceremonies, the inner passageway was blocked and the outer gate was lowered, trapping the workers and craftsmen inside forever. To ensure no one could escape, trees were planted on the tomb mound, making it blend seamlessly into the landscape as just another hill. The mausoleum itself was modeled after the layout of Xianyang, the capital of the Qin dynasty. The tomb is said to be filled with rare artifacts and priceless treasures, with 100 rivers of pure mercury allegedly flowing through the recreated city. Opening the tomb is believed to pose immediate, life-threatening dangers, as it is rumored to be rigged with traps designed to eliminate intruders. Even if these traps fail, the most formidable threat is a flood flood of toxic liquid mercury that could engulf anyone attempting to excavate the site. While this might seem like an empty warning, scientific investigations have measured mercury levels around the tomb and found concentrations significantly higher than those typically found in ordinary soil. Meanwhile, the large amount of liquid mercury found deep beneath the Mexican Pyramid of the Feathered Serpent is believed to have ritualistic significance due to its reflective properties. This toxic liquid may have symbolized an underworld body of water, possibly guiding researchers toward a royal tomb long thought to lie beneath Teotihuacan. In Mesoamerican lore, reflective surfaces like mirrors were seen as portals to the future and as the river that carries humans after death, similar to the river Styx in Greek mythology. In the ancient practice of alchemy, mercury was considered one of the Earth's three principal substances, alongside sulfur and salt. Alchemists believed mercury to be the core element of all metals, with gold, silver, copper, tin, lead, and iron being mixtures of mercury and other substances. Despite varying beliefs across different cultures, a central theme in European alchemy was the conviction that the right combination of mercury and other ingredients could produce gold. Thus, in the late 3rd century, Roman Emperor Diocletian issued an edict to destroy all written works on alchemy. He feared that the creation of artificial gold would devalue Roman currency and enable alchemists to amass vast fortunes, potentially using their wealth to bribe officials and gain power. Now let's go back to our main question. How did ancient civilizations obtain this precious yet toxic element? Based on the alchemical texts that have been uncovered, the answer is pretty straightforward. Mercury sulfide, which is naturally found in the striking red ore known as cinnabar. It's the most significant naturally occurring mercury ore, and notably has been mined by humans since Neolithic times, primarily for use in paints and cosmetics. Its toxic properties eventually became known. In ancient Rome, for example, slaves and criminals were often condemned to work in cinnabar mines, effectively a death sentence due to the ore's poisonous nature. The warders were among the first to realize that the prisoners were highly likely to become poisoned, sparing the keepers the need for formal executions. This leads us to another question. How did these ancient civilizations extract liquid mercury from cinnabar? The procedures can be categorized into two groups: cold extraction and hot extraction. Theophrastus, an ancient natural philosopher, documented the earliest known method for extracting mercury. He described the process as grinding cinnabar with vinegar in a copper mortar using a copper pestle. Ancient alchemists didn't understand the chemistry, but modern chemists know that the copper in the pestles and mortars acted as a key reagent. The next technique, hot extraction, involves several methods as documented in ancient manuscripts. The simplest method involves heating cinnabar, causing a reaction between mercury sulfide and oxygen that produces sulfur dioxide and liquid mercury. This method is supported by an account from Vitruvius, who in the 1st century BC described how mercury was always found on the floor of a kiln when unrefined cinnabar was baked to dry it out. This observation suggests that simply heating cinnabar could indeed produce mercury. Another method, which was described by the alchemist Pseudo-Democritus, is considered as the most mysterious. It involves heating a cinnabar with natron oil in a closed vessel. The exact nature of natron oil remains unclear. While ancient civilizations had access to natron deposits in their solid form, found in saline lake beds in arid environments, the process by which they transform natron into an oil is veiled in secrecy. But researchers speculated that the natron oil might have been a solution of sodium carbonate dissolved in water, oil, or vinegar. Laboratory testing demonstrated that sodium carbonate enabled the complete conversion of cinnabar into mercury, establishing it as a highly effective reagent for mercury production. Given the immense effort needed to transform cinnabar into mercury, it's astonishing to think that Emperor Qin Shi Huang managed to fill his tomb with rivers of liquid mercury. This remarkable feat raises tantalizing questions. Could his burial chamber be hiding advanced technology powered by mercury? We often underestimate the skills and abilities of our ancestors, but these discoveries prove us wrong time and again. Be sure to check this out.